have any? Because I just asked about rivalries, right? Players like that. Is there any? We'll get back to the high school in a second. But is there any DBs that you kind of see him as playing like that style of play, or somebody you feel like, man, that's kind of like my style right there, in a sense, league wise or collegiate.
Yeah. Okay. You wanna go?
I mean,
or any idols in the sense, not necessarily idols, but guys you like look up to in the sense of in that position.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Jalen Ramsey. Well, corners I looked up to. Jalen Ramsey. I want to say Deion, of course. That's
because he's aggressive. Because I don't think Deion was as aggressive.
Deion was not aggressive.
He just his speed and his his intelligence and instincts and all that there. Whereas in Ramsey, he's very aggressive.
Yeah. So
I think I have both of those though. Cause
speed.
Yeah, I definitely got speed.
Not Deion speed though.
I don't got Deion speed.
My speed? Like, what about my speed?
I don't got Deion speed, of course, but like I'm pretty fast. I ran track, so I'm pretty fast. And then the instinct wise, I feel like I got good instincts. Like you can see on some of my film.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Yeah, some of the plays I make on the ball, like that's good instincts. Like
and coming off your receiver, making some of those instinctive plays, I've seen you make. Well, they might throw it to another receiver, and you come off your receiver and make the play, the interception. I've seen some of those plays as well, and that's definitely plays a part with instinct.
So I knew he was gonna say Jalen Ramsey just because that's been like his favorite corner since he probably started playing football.
Do you see some resemblance?
I do see a lot of resemblance, like size-wise, speed-wise, kind of the way they play. I think Ramsey is like more aggressive, which I'm, trying. He's starting to play like that more this year. Mm-hmm. Like you see more aggression out of him, which was kind of what I was looking for. But the honestly, the name that I was gonna throw out is Pat Peterson. Mm-hmm. Like he played for Arizona for a long time, but he played down here, I believe, at Ely, and he played at LSU. Mm-hmm. And so he was just one of those guys, like, because he was bigger, like, Tre like 6'1", 190. So he was a big dude back then too. He might have been like 200, but he played at running back and DB. But he was real good. I remember I used to follow like recruiting heavy at the time. So I remember they had like I think it was like a Nike combine, and he had like 4 reps at DB, and he had like 3 interceptions out of the 4 reps and something like that. But just watching, I didn't really see him at Ely, just from the recruiting stuff at the combine, and then watching him at LSU and watching him in the NFL. I think that was somebody that like I would try to get him to mold his game after too. But yeah, definitely like Jalen Ramsey, Pat Peterson. Like right now, like I want him to start looking at a lot of Pat Surtain, who was just Defensive Player of the Year.
Talk about junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one that like right now, like I really want him to like study.
All right, to go back to the season in 10th grade, we just got through with Chaminade. Mm-hmm. And that was like kind of like a blowout, sort of the second half of the game. Mm-hmm. And after that, what was next after that?
So
how the rest of that season play out for the most part?
For the most part, we ended up winning most of our games. I think we only lost one. No, we didn't lose 4.
Yeah, the final game at Heritage County. That's 4.
We lost 3.
Chaminade?
No, not
Chaminade.
Chaminade was the first loss.
The second. Because the first game of the season
was that didn't count.
Oh, that's the classic season.
Oh yeah.
Chaminade.
Central.
Central.
What happened in the Central
Central
game?
first. We played Heritage first.
Okay, but
Heritage, we technically won, but they took the game back because one of the players wasn't supposed to play. I guess he was suspended for 2 games.
Is that? Well,
And then
so
Central,
either way it go, if you take one of them
it's
losses,
3.
okay.
What happened with the Central game?
The Central game.
You want to fast forward? That's like go back to the Cocoa game first, because Cocoa was right after Chaminade. Then we'll get to Central, huh?
Well, after
Yeah,
Chaminade, we played Archbishop. We ended up being them like 31-0 or something like that. No, they scored. I think they beat them like 30-something to 9 or 40-something to 9.
How many donuts you remember? Like that y'all gave out that year? Cause you say y'all beat them 31-0.
Yeah, only
In the
2.
playoffs.
Yeah, y'all only had 2 shutouts that year.
Yeah, we only had 2.
But nah, I wanted him to get on Cocoa because, like I said, last year, like that was a really big year. I don't even know like if he understand the extent of the year he had last year. I just think like when you talk about DBs in Dade County, I think that year is probably gonna be like top. You know, I'm biased, so I'm gonna say it's the top 1, but definitely top 3 for sure. Like in history, in my opinion. And one of the reasons is like all the top receivers that he faced and how he played. So Coco was another one. Like this dude, receiver, Javen Boggs, he now starting at Florida State. He had won Mr. Florida the year before. Like he had like 2,000 yards receiving, like crazy. Like this dude, like animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you see him, like he don't really look it. Like maybe his body has changed now, but back then, like he just kind of looked like he was kind of stocky, but not the fastest. But like he just was super strong from what I remember seeing and watching him up close at the game, and like strong hands, like just know how to play the receiver position. So you could kind of take us through that game.
So that game, I think we came out the first drive. I'm not gonna lie, they scored on us pretty quick. Like they drove down the field easily first drive.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one play in practice that we watched over on film the whole week. So they was in like bunch. It was the first play of the game. They threw him a curl route, but I think it was in cover 3. But I ain't break on it, or I don't remember. But no, he had pushed me off and he caught the curl route. He got like 15 yards.
Boy, put that big body on him. Shout out, man.
Here you go. So then they ended up running the ball, I think, or something like that. They ended up throwing him a fade, but on the other side, and he scored. He caught it and like he toe tapped it in the back of the end zone. So then after that, offense come out. They scoring like. Wait, did offense get the ball first?
Nah, offense came back and scored. After.
Okay, so offense came back and scored in like 4 plays, drove down. We ended up stopping them after that. And then offense gonna score again. So then I think they threw a slant. And we was in cover 3. But the whole week, like when we watched on film, they went slants and outs or slants in the flat. So when I seen him come off, like he came off the ball hard, but I see him break. Once he broke, I immediately broke and turned my eyes to the quarterback. Quarterback threw it, I dove and picked it. And then like that was a big play. Like that got the whole team hyped. Like the whole sideline was jumping, all that. And then from there, like we just really was dominating in the whole game.
And what schools? What team is this again?
Coco. We had like I think 4 turnovers. We had a defensive touchdown too. Offense was putting up points that game.
Yeah, that was offense best game so far of the year. But they had a really good team. Like they ended up winning state championship that year. Like I said, the receiver was all world, Mr. Florida. He went to Florida State, started his first game as a freshman. They had a quarterback. I believe he ended up going to Texas A&M. and then they had another DN who was a 5-star who played. I forget where he went to school at. But so good team. But for me, like the matchup, which he ain't even get into that. Like I want to say the whole second half, like you was covering him. And you did a pretty good job. Like he got that one out and up on you, but other than that, I don't think he really they threw him like a couple like hitches or something like that. But
they doing a screen.
Yeah. So but I think you held up. You know what I'm saying? So these are because you was going back. You was saying like how me as a dad, how I feel, and when I look at these matchups of like who I want him to cover. So when I do my research on these teams. Like the guy Boggs is like I want Trey on him. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and again, like the kid AJ was playing really well. So to me, like they didn't really have to like say, "Oh Trey, you go get him," because it was like y'all both playing so well. Which I used to see them do this, and I don't know where it came from. I used to see them doing rock paper scissors like at the start of the game. Like I guess to see
who gonna play.
Yeah.
And was that because the other corner was just as talented?
Yeah.
And
like just as big, just as fast. Like he was big, fast, physical like Trey. He was real good. He was a senior last year. So and I don't know, you could tell that rock, paper, scissors. Like I just used to see it, but I never knew like what y'all was doing.
Who came up with that? The players or the coaches that found the rock, paper, scissors thing?
Coach Roseman. Like that was Coach Roseman thing. He was like, it don't really matter which one of y'all get them. Matter of fact, when y'all meet up in the middle of the field, y'all rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and as soon as whoever win, go straight to him and point at him and be like, I got you.
Oh, so it wasn't on the sideline. It was a sideline, but it's also in the game on the field where y'all did rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, we was doing rock, paper, scissors, shoot in the middle of the field. They in the huddle, BBs hang it, so we get in our little huddle. We line up straight across. So while we lined up straight across, we playing rock, paper, scissors. And then whoever win, that's who get them.
You had any multiple interception games throughout your career, whether it's since you've been in high school?
Nah. I mean, most of the time, typically after I get an interception, I don't really get tried like that after it.
As far as the quarterback, they don't throw you away that much no more.
So, Coco was one game you should have had too. So
You dropped one?
Oh, no, I did drop one after that.
So he got the slant in the first quarter, which was a big change in momentum play. Like, I think that was the start of like the avalanche for us. But then there was one, I want to say third or fourth quarter, where he did a 10 and in or something like that. And you jumped it, or he fell, the receiver fell, and like,
I also jumped
it
it.
just, it kind of came to you. Okay.
I was in the right position.
He was where you should have been, but had he not failed, he would have been there too. But so he had it, and I don't know, just butterfingers
like this.
Yeah, like I don't know what
Instead
that
of
is.
turning my hands around like this.
I have that play. I think I know exactly that play that I'm talking about. I got that on one of these highlight things.
So that could have been a multiple game. But yeah, go ahead.
So to answer that though, no multiple interception game. Any fumble recoveries? You got some of those on your resume?
No, I don't think so. No.
So
Okay.
So I'll touch on that too. Like he said, typically after he make a one play on the ball, like the rest of the game after that, like the rest of the game, they won't go at him. So I think Heritage was shortly after Coco, and so he got an interception in Heritage game. And then after that, they never threw at him again.
That was early on in the game?
That was early in the game.
Yeah, you kind of hate that.
So it was like after that, they never threw his way again. But as far as the like fumble recoveries and stuff like that, or even with tackles, because when we go to these colleges and they like, oh man, why you don't got no tackles? But it's like the team he was on the last 2 years like was so good, like. Run plays really got to him. You know what I'm saying? And then if you ain't let nobody catch the ball, you get no tackles. You know what I'm saying? So this year he's gotten involved more. He's been more tackling because, and we already lost, 4 games? So that shows you the difference in the team, you know what I'm saying, of how when the team is really good, hey, that's why your corner ain't getting no tackles. Versus now, you know, the team is not so good, so now those plays are making it to you, which that lets you know y'all not having a good season. You know what I'm saying?
What happens when the other cornerback on the other side that you play rock, paper, scissors with get an interception early on in the game? Does that, like, they start on your side more? Or, like, how's that work? They just basically run the ball, maybe? Because what if he get a pick? Or was it any of those times when he did get a pick, and now they don't want to throw to his side no more, all the action coming to you, or just maybe the slide or something? You ever had those situations?
Nah.
When you get a lot of action?
Well, AJ got thrown at more, but AJ didn't have no picks. AJ had like 15 pass deflections.
Yeah.
Like 15, 20.
So, and to elaborate on that a little more, like, again, he was a real good player, but like he was underrated coming in. So as you coming into the season, like Trey had started to blow up. So now teams are like, okay, they're gonna throw away from him. So the other corner got a lot of action, and he held up. Like he held up really
Not
well.
necessarily interceptions, but deflections.
Deflections, like he was, it wasn't sweet over there at all.
he have an island on his own?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Tre Island. Or is it a such thing?
Well, I'll leave that to him. He won't keep up with that.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Tre Island.
So, Tre Island is, you know, that's what receivers do. I mean, corners do. You know, you play on the island, typically man to man. When you good, you don't really need a lot of help. You know what I'm saying? So you call it the island because you're by yourself.
You think he hold his own on this island?
I know he can. So I started saying that. This was actually, I think he was like 9. He might have been 8 when he first started playing the flag league. And so, you know, in flag, you know, they put you everywhere: receiver, DB. He played some quarterback, some running back. So it was one day. I gotta find a video and send it to you, where like he walked over there. He had on, I'll never forget, he had on these gray pants that kind of had like a little pattern in it, and I think they might have been the Dolphins that year. So as he's walking out to cover the receiver, like it just looked like he belonged there. You know what I'm saying? Like he fixing the shorts, and just the confidence he was lining up with. Like from that moment on, I knew like, you're gonna be a DB.
Yeah.
This is Tre, you know what I'm saying? Obviously nickname Tre. So I started saying Tre Island. I started putting it like on his pictures, and you know, whenever they would play,